Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Look for today's date. I'll be posting that momentarily. If you are not a member or not logged into Stunthangar Forum, at the bench will not appear. So if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying, courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place the space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. Now he's kind of recuperating, so he might not be quick on the approving right now. So just give him a little bit more grace than usual. In the chat box, I'll do my best to make your comments a part of the show. And I understand sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so please be patient. I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. And by the way, you only can make a comment or a question during the live stream. So like I said earlier, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host or the many building videos and flying videos that Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up. That's a like. Subscribe, share the videos, comments also help Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please also consider joining the Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And we're talking about having access to a guy who has, and guys who have, 55 years plus experience building and flying these stunt ships. Now, you can also use the super chat, which is located at the bottom of the chat box. And that's, again, you only can do that feature during a live stream. So, come in during our live stream, make a donation, please. And if it's more convenient for you to watch the whole show later, come back and watch the replay, like many people do. We have a lot of replays compared to the actual live audience. Now, your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar, and with your memberships, you get special badges in the YouTube chat that Sparky and myself can see, and you also get unlimited replay of member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. I'm only in here twice a week, so if you want to get in touch with me, please go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. I haven't posted a video up there recently, but please place your comment or question on the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which Sparky shot with his camera of me flying his beautiful Junar XL. When you do that, I'll be promptly notified and I'll be able to respond to you quickly. I want to thank you for your past, present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family, room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things that you wouldn't do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, let me post the link at Stunthangar. This is how you get into the space to hang out with us. Let me see here. Here you go. And I have a couple of screens here, and I'm considering getting another screen to make it a little bit easier for me. Now, next I need to go to the YouTube side and what I call the control panel. And let me go in there and see if it's flowing. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Oh, what's going on? This thing is taking, I'm getting this spinning thing. Let me try this again. Hang on a second. Let's try it again. Let's see, just bear with me again. Well, I think I'm having some internet challenges, so hope my image is coming across and my audio is coming across without freezing up. We might have rain. I hear someone. I'll be right there. Let me finish getting this thing all set up for us. Boy, it seems like it takes forever when you're waiting on the computer. And the voice sounds like Howard Rush, be my guess.
It may well be.
Yes, that's Howard. I'll be right there, Howard. So it looks like we have 9 viewers right now, 6 likes. So if you haven't hit the like button, please like provided. Thank you very much, Tom. And let me edit this portion here.
This is too soon to like, I think. I'd want more evidence before I liked anything.
Don't you have any faith? You guys see it. Hopefully you have belief before you see it, is what I'm trying to say.
Something like that. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to be with you in just a second now. All right, here I am, and here you are. Hey, Howard, thank you so much for coming in. It's great that I don't have to do a dog and pony show until someone comes in. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
And I haven't checked my email, so if I haven't commented or said thank you for the geometric program,
I sent it to you.
Oh, thank you very much. I figured you had already. I just hadn't been on my computer very much today. I went flying today, and I put up about 8 flights, but 6 of them were short little flights, and then the last 2 were just to use up the batteries so that I don't have to discharge them. And that was courtesy of Steve Hines' recommendation. And that's a great way to get the batteries into like a storage charge equivalent. But the plane is still turning quicker on outsides, but I did do a few things differently. I actually brought the down line on the handle, raised it up. I have a hard point handle, so I raised it up a couple of holes.
That's not what to do.
It helped though. It did help. Besides adjusting the push rod, but let me listen to what I should be doing, because you never been at it for a while, so I'm having a little bit of success, but I'm not hitting it home yet.
You're cutting out, which is unusual, because I should have a good signal here. Let me look to see what. Yeah, this is the good network.
Well, I don't know. I'm looking at the delay on what I call the control panel, and let's just see. Maybe if it doesn't improve, I will kick some teenagers off the computer and their iPad. Yeah. So.
They should be doing their homework.
Yes, that they should be doing their homework. Exactly.
But they'll tell you.
I hope my
our homework is done on the web.
Homeschooled, so they Yeah, they do a lot of it on the web, and they only go to school about now. They go to school 4 days a week. So Monday is the day they don't go. So they actually probably did a lot of homework earlier today. But anyways, enough about that. Hey, Trian's coming in. Says Trian is connecting to the audio.
Hi, Trian. Hi, Trian.
Hey guys.
Hey, Trian, welcome to the show. You know, Rusty used to say, what did he used to say? He used to say, welcome to the, he had a funny expression. I don't know if he said, welcome to the insane asylum. He said something of that sort. It was pretty funny what Rusty would say. Anyway, so Trian, I've been noticing, but I never asked you before. Your name, it says Trian, aka RR. What is RR?
You don't know RR?
Well, I don't want to make a mistake.
It's something that has to do Romania and raging.
Okay.
The raging Romanian. Right. Somebody said, the raging cool. Romanian is here. So I put RR there.
Very good. Very good. Did you know that, Howard?
Yes, I did. We went through that before.
I wonder if I was missing in action. Maybe I was working on building my plane cricket or something like I did.
I don't know.
The raging Romanian. All right, cool. And Jack Snavely says, hello, all around the world, just saying hi again. Well, thank you, Jack, for coming in. You're very welcome. I'm glad that you come in. You come in pretty regular, so I appreciate you coming in. Thank you very much. So what are you working on, Trian?
So I'm trying to make sure this motor is going to go inside when I'm doing it.
Right.
When I'm putting it in. So you already saw this from last time.
Yeah, right.
My battery compartment. You can see the slots in here for the Velcro strips.
Yes. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
I'm gonna have some of these spacers, but they're just gonna go portion. I have one piece here, another piece here, another piece here. And when the battery drops in, which is gonna be from this hatch here.
Oh,
this
excellent.
This is gonna be open. It's on the inboard side, right?
Right.
When the hatch is open, the battery just goes inside, and slides in between. Slides in between these guys. And that is going to bottom out on these sticks on the back side, on the back side here, because they're going to be like a spacer here. See that?
Yes.
For air to get through.
Yeah, so it's going to be a spacer here, so the battery is not sitting against the wall. And the idea is that I'm going to have air that's going to enter in here.
Yeah, good.
It's going to go around the battery, underneath the battery, and I have space between the walls, so it's going to be a gap in here. So the air is going to flow on the side of the wall as well in here. I don't really like to have my batteries. It's just my personal preference. I don't like to have my batteries touching a lot of stuff.
Right.
So sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. And for example, if you want to see the fit of this battery, it's kind of like this. Maybe a little bit off because I have a spacer over there. It's like this. So it's going to have air coming from the side.
Who locked up
in this area, and you can see like it's only sitting a little bit over here. That's how it's going to be. It's going to only sit a little bit over here on this end, which means I'm not obstructing the airflow. The airflow is going to have airflow here, there, on the top and the bottom, because as you can see, most of the battery, it's open here.
Right.
It's nothing touching the bottom or the top of the battery. It's just a little bit on the corners here. This is all it's going to be. The four corners
It's
about
not going to
360.
rotate and fall into the crack. Huh?
What?
It's not going to rotate and fall into the gap.
No, actually, this is on this side, but you can see it's the battery is going to stay in that box over there. You see that, Howard?
I see it.
Let me put some light here.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, gentlemen, I gotta go because my internet connection is unstable. So I gotta kick off some teenagers off of their computers or something. I'll be back. You guys continue on, all right?
Yeah. So right now I just put the nose ring, the nose former in place, and I want to make sure that as the motor is going to travel, the idea is that the motor is going to enter like this inside. Basically, it's going to come out through this hole here from inside the plane, and then I want to make sure I have a transition to put it in here. Go from here to up there. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that. That's what I'm trying to figure out now.
You could put a string on the motor shaft and
Might have to cut this little piece here.
and thread it through the.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to cut this little piece here, from here to here, and
What's
then it
that
should
made
be
of?
fine. Huh?
What's your motor mount bulkhead made of?
It's several layers of 16 plywood, or or 132 plywood. I don't know what this is. Maybe a couple of layers of 116 plywood. You can see it has a bunch of layers there.
Yeah, I get that. By definition, is a thicker unit of plywood. I've got a laser cutter. If you want any of this stuff cut, just let me know.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Can you cut plywood too?
Yeah.
All right. Super. That'll be nice.
And you're a cadder, so yeah, send me a DXF file and assume
just the DXF file. Perfect. I can do it in Fusion 360, and I can save it as a DXF file and send it to you.
Assume a 6,000th curve.
6,000 curve. Okay. All right.
6,000ths of an inch curve. Yeah.
You cannot offset the curve in your program?
That's left as an exercise for the DXF supplier.
No, that's great. That's cool. Yeah, absolutely. So,
I don't know whether I can or not. I don't think so. But
yeah.
Hey, Lynn, thanks for coming in.
Hey, Charles. Hey, guys.
Len, it's early for you.
Yeah, it's very early for me. Finished work though, finished dinner and good to go.
Good to go. All right. So I think I'm gonna make some noise, guys. So
All right, you gonna make some noise?
I'm gonna mute it.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Hey, you guys, let me know if my internet becomes unstable. I just kicked off one child off their internet, so let's see if it gets better.
Kicking kids out, are you?
You sound like a banjo. It must be on my side, maybe. He didn't sound. Did he sound like a banjo to you, Howard?
He does not sound like a banjo. He sounds more like a Canadian.
So I must still have
that's a relief.
It must be my internet connection. Let me try something different here.
Try whatever you got to try.
Yeah.
Definitely like a Canadian, that's for sure.
All right. Perfect. Glad to hear.
There you go. Confusion. No more confusion.
Okay.
I don't want to do it with that. It's too big.
It's quiet in here tonight.
Yeah. No problem.
I'm sure
Then
they'll
what
all
are you
come
doing?
later.
What you flying? What are you building?
Actually, Naomi and I are building a couple of planes together. She's building a small Magician and I'm building a bigger one.
Oh, I love magicians.
Yeah. An old time airplane, well, not old time, but classic airplane.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique design, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure. You know, everybody says they love how they fly and stuff like that, but when I look at the tail being so close to the damn wing, I'm going like,
I'm not convinced. We'll see.
I don't know how much I'm buying that.
I'm referencing when I was a kid flying it, so I don't know how.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
just saying
so am
I
I.
loved it because of nostalgia. Me flying when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's different, definitely a huge factor.
I built my first Magician in 1977, and I haven't built one since. So wow.
Mm.
Well, mine was so long ago. I'd really have to figure out when I built mine.
Wow.
But I'm sure I must have been. I would like to think I was in junior high.
Now,
Yeah,
when,
so was I. I was either in junior high or high school. It was a long time ago.
when did you live in Panama?
I didn't, oh, you gotta mute your mic. You gotta mute your mic, Trian.
Oh, sorry, that's me. I was having some dental work done.
My mouse is not. I'm having technical difficulties. Okay, here we go. Hey, Trian, you gotta mute your mic. I couldn't get to
Oh,
it.
I'm sorry, I didn't mute it. I thought
No,
I
you
muted
didn't.
it. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
All right, cool. Hey, Tom, thanks for the like and thank you for coming in.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah, to answer your question, Howard, I didn't live in Panama that long. I was born there, and my mom was born and raised there. And so whenever she was close to delivery, she went back home to Panama because my grandmother or her mother was there to help her with, with the newborn. And then so my other siblings that were behind me, she went back each time for them too. So I only have one sibling that was born here, and she was born in San Diego. The other ones were all like myself and born in Panama.
Okay. Thank you.
So, I don't speak Spanish, unfortunately. Wish I did.
Yeah, living in San Diego or thereabouts.
Yeah.
So tell us about your Magician, Charles.
So anyways, it was white
Yeah,
and it had black, like a sunburst pattern. I had flaps on mine. I built two of them.
Yeah, mine too. Mine had flaps too. Go ahead.
And if I remember correctly, I think I had Snoopy as the pilot on the first plane. Cut out of Snoopy.
Yeah.
And it was a great plane. I had a Super Tiger 35, the C engine.
Yeah.
And I don't think it had a baffle, so it was the flat piston, had a Tatone muffler on it.
Yeah.
And I just thought it sounded so cool because, we didn't use mufflers back then. So having a muffler actually was something unique.
Something unique, yeah.
Yeah, so it was just, and that plane I learned how to do fly inverted. I did lazy figure eights. And I think I tried some squares, but yeah, it was just the funnest flying plane. It was my best flying plane, after like 3 or so planes. I had a jumping bean, little wizard, and I had a buster, and then I had my first Magician.
Okay.
And then I built another one. I liked it so much, but yeah, I loved it. I've been meaning to build another one.
Yeah.
Just to make for nostalgia. I probably do the same color scheme, white with black sunburst, kind of a pattern to it.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't think I have any pictures of it, which is
no, I don't have any pictures of mine either. I
on my head.
Yeah. I built mine. I started building it in 1977. I finished it in 1978. The paint scheme was red, white, and blue. It looked very American.
Wow.
It was a nice looking airplane. I flew it in my very first contest and won the junior portion of that contest back in 1978.
Very good. Congrats.
And I had an Enya 29 on it. So it had lots of power, but it was very nose heavy, and I didn't realize that at the time. I didn't know enough about trimming. So therefore, it never really turned very well. Like I always had to fight to make it turn. And I always figured it didn't turn very well because of the little flaps on it, but I don't know whether that was true or not.
See, that's interesting because I didn't know anything about trimming either, but that plane flew excellent.
Yeah, so you had a lighter motor on the front of yours too, though.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
see,
but
that
I built a Buster and that did not fly excellent. So,
so there you go, right?
I mean, all I did was just built planes when I was a kid. I didn't do any trimming except for whatever the directions said. If it said to add,
Yeah, well, we
add a-
didn't know.
add
We
ounce to the
didn't-
tip, to the
yeah.
wingtip, I did that. But other than that,
Yeah. We didn't know anything. We didn't have adjustable lead outs or adjustable tip weight or anything else. You guessed at everything.
yeah. And that plane must have had line tension or enough. I mean, I didn't do anything special, but it flew. I mean, I was able
Yeah.
to do things. And it was when you're starting to fly out, if you have a plane that's difficult to fly, it's almost impossible to do
For
maneuvers
sure.
or even fly upside down because, it could be, craziness.
I could do basic maneuvers with mine, like I could do wing overs and loops and eights and fly it inverted. So it was okay for what I was doing, but I wasn't flying the full pattern at that time. I was just doing basic, easy type maneuvers.
Right.
So therefore, even with it nose heavy, I was able to still do that, but not
Right.
as well as I would like to have. See, originally I built the plane for a Fox 35. And it should have been better with the Fox 35 on it, but I found it to be underpowered. It
Oh, so you
seemed
actually
to-
tried it. You actually
Yeah,
tried
yeah.
it.
I originally flew it with a Fox 35, and it seemed to me at the time, not knowing very much, it seemed underpowered. So then I put the Enya 29 on it, which was a more powerful motor. And that really woke it up, but unfortunately, it made it very nose heavy. I had an Enya 29 with a Bisson muffler on it, and it was very heavy
Oh, wow.
in the
The
nose.
reason we didn't have pictures of our planes back then is because we didn't have a camera built into our telephone.
Well,
Yeah.
Back in those days.
I had pictures of mine, but they've long since disappeared or gotten lost. Unfortunately.
Yeah, we had to take a picture back then and take it to someplace to get it developed to see it, right?
Right.
Oh, I had a
I think I got it,
Polaroid.
guys.
What was that again, Trian?
I said I think I got it.
You got it.
So the motor is gonna come out like this. It's gonna go in there, and then it's gonna slide in.
Hang on, let me make you the spotlight. I thought I had you spotlighted. Let me make spotlight you again. Oh, there we go. Try it again. I didn't have you highlighted.
So the motor is gonna come from this area,
Okay.
obviously from the battery compartment, and it's gonna go through.
All right.
Slides up, and you can just bolt it in. I can probably reach from the nose like this and stabilize it with my fingers, or just holding like this from the front, so it stays in position, so I can put a screw or something like that, and then the rest should go in just fine.
Very
So
good.
that's kind of my master plan right now. I think this is going to work just fine. So it's going to go through the battery compartment, out of this hole, through this, and in position.
Yeah.
And the electrical wires are going to go straight down, and ESC is going to be in this compartment right here. And that's going to be kind of like this.
All right. I can see that.
Cool.
And there's plenty of space from the bottom of these guys to the bottom of the shell that I made for it. So right now, next step for me would be just to finish, to finalize the fuselage, put the formers back here, and and then add more material here around the nose, because obviously this is not gonna hold. There's no way this is gonna hold with just this butt glue joint, you know.
All right, yeah.
So I'm gonna build up some material around here, all the way around, and you know, beef it up, and then I'm gonna use that material over there to shape it to the spinner. So the idea is that I'm gonna put the motor inside. I'm gonna put my spinner in, draw the circle and stuff like that, and just start to shape it up.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Play with
Cool.
it. Just kind of keep it simple. And as you can see, I wet this area quite a bit
To bend it.
here,
Yep.
and I pre-bent it before I even started this construction.
It doesn't look wet.
So
He said it doesn't look.
wet.
Howard said it doesn't look wet.
oh, I did wet it to allow the wood to form.
I believe you. Even though it doesn't look wet, I believe you.
So that's that. I mean, this is all just this is all balsa wood, except for a couple of 1/16 sheets of plywood that are laminating left and right over a 1/16 piece of balsa. That's a 3/16 former, right?
Now, is this your
Okay.
first electric SV vector you're building? This is the first
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason I'm asking that is because the rails for the battery, are they basically in line with the wing, or you don't really have to, are you not concerned about the vertical CG at all?
I put the battery as low as I could get it.
Okay.
That's
I did that.
because if you look at this, the wing center line is here. The battery is going to be just a little bit lower than that, and the motor it's a little bit higher than that. And still, even with this, there's still more weight on the top because you have more material on top here than you have on the bottom. And actually, on the bottom, I'm going to have the wheels. I forgot.
Yeah, you forgot.
So overall, I think it's going to balance just fine like this. The battery is not exactly low; it's just ever so slightly below the center line of the wing. It's if I look at it right now, it's about not even a 1/4 inch. So it's not something major. It's just slightly. It's a slight offset.
Yeah, the vertical CG will probably be pretty close.
Yeah, that's the idea. I want to get this vertical CG correct. And I've done another thing. I just here on the back side, I had to modify this back side because it was originally made for like a airfoiled elevator, and mine is just a flat.
Yours is flat. Okay.
Yeah, just a flat with a rounded leading edge. And this is a 3/8 here, but the elevator it's a 1/4 inch tapering out.
All right.
So it's a I'm not sure if you remember, like Dave Fitzgerald had made an article a long time ago about elevators, and he said the best ones that he tested were the best one was the airfoil elevator that actually had an airfoil to it. And he said the next best one was like a thicker airfoil, thicker flat sheet to the thinner one.
Right.
Which
kind
of simulates an airfoil more or less, because the air goes around and then it squeezes in a little bit.
So it tapers at the back.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's
But like
article.
a 3/8 to the 3/8 main part, and the horizontal stabilizer is 3/8 and the elevator is 1/4 inch.
Okay. Cool.
And that's kind of the thing. And of course I had to, as you notice, my elevator is just further back than the original point.
Okay.
I just like this idea. I mean, it works for me so well. I mean, it's like I like to use it.
Now, are you building that fuselage from scratch, or is this from a kit?
It's from a kit, but the kit for the Vector was made for the it was made for an IC motor.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're modifying the whole thing. That's cool.
Yeah, basically the whole nose is completely different. I'm not even using the form or nothing is
yeah.
used from over there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah. Oh, and by the way, the battery has, like, if you want to position the battery,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you can move it. Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
you get it. Your
I have
balance. That's good.
lots of space to go with it. I can
Yeah,
go
you
all the way
do.
forward,
That is
all the way
good.
back, you know.
That is
So
very
that's
good.
kind of nice.
Now, let
And
me-
I also can go like, because it's gonna mount in this, orientation. If I choose to go to a 5S or something like that, the pack is just gonna be a little bit thicker, right?
Mhm.
So right now it's gonna be like this, but if the pack is bigger, this end is gonna move in a little bit more, kind of like
Okay.
that.
Right.
And that's about it.
Should work good.
It will be perfect, man.
I don't know if
Famous
I'd go
last
that,
words,
I
right?
don't know if I'd go that far, but it'll be pretty close.
Let me ask you a question. I have
Hey,
another
Tom.
question. So why did you put that wood that's covering half of the leading edge of the wing hole in the fuselage sides? You have
Oh, I
part of
just
the-
did. I didn't cut it out yet because this is a modification.
okay.
So-
So you're
so
gonna
what I
cut that
did
all
is-
out, yeah.
I just put a piece of wood from here all the way to the nose, right?
Okay. All right.
Okay.
And I just played it. I'm doing everything normal, and when I'm done with this, I'm just gonna actually cut this
Cut
out.
that out. Yeah, that'll be cut
All
out.
right.
Yeah, so
For
I
sure.
can insert the wing in place. But right now, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna keep it there because it keeps everything kind of solid, and
Yeah, for
the
sure.
section over here is so thin. It wants to be kind of squishy, move a lot, right?
Yeah. You don't want to take
this
it
is
out
gonna
until you're ready
stabilize a
to,
little bit.
yeah, you don't want to take it out until you're close to putting the wing in. I get it.
Yeah. That's correct. Yeah.
Very good. I'm just asking because there might have been some other people watching that might been curious about that.
Ask away. I don't care. I'm fine.
All right. Plus, when I saw it, it reminds me of Sparky, how he always notches out the leading part of the wing for the fuel tank. And so
Yeah.
I know you're not going to have a fuel tank in there. And I was just like, well, what is that there for? Why is that covered up?
No, it's just a modification because
I understand.
yeah.
I'm just saying when I saw it,
Yeah.
I went straight to how Sparky builds his planes because Sparky does a similar thing, but that's just for the notch. Because he
So
puts
you can
his wing.
see this is another piece I splice in here to make
Yeah.
my
Yes.
full width for the fuselage,
Yes.
and this the inside piece of balsa wood, which starts over here, right here.
Right.
It goes flat all the way through to the nose. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Very good, Trian.
so using this piece of balsa, also this was also used so I can keep these two pieces in a line.
Very
Yeah.
good. Oh, I
Yeah.
see. That's a great idea.
You have a flat piece and another two pieces sitting on top of a flat piece. So gonna give you kind of a flattish surface.
Yes. Yeah. It's
It's
a good
best-
idea. That's a great idea.
So John Paris loaned me his Jetty box so I could test all the tuts.
Right.
And he bought another tut, so I sent him the second tut and his Jetty box back. And so I'm keeping one tut for myself, and so I ended up having to purchase a Jetty box. So
Good.
that
Good.
just came today. My Jetty box just came today.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
That'll come in handy.
You know those, yeah, I've got one right here. It's a power supply for charging phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can
sure.
take that and strap it to your Jetty box. And then you don't have to turn on the airplane to
Well,
program your
Great
truck.
idea.
It's a,
You can
it's a-
also, go ahead.
It's a 5-volt
Go ahead.
supply.
I've got a BEC hooked to mine.
Yeah,
Very good.
to which you have
If
to.
you want to
hook
get
up.
out as cheap, if you want to get out as cheap for that as you can, if you go to the hobby
Yeah.
shop and look at the RC car stuff, you'll find a little plastic bracket, plastic thing that you can put 4 AA batteries in, and it's already got the right coupling on it.
Yeah, you can do that too.
You just put that in there, and I mean 4 AA's, and if you think they're going bad, throw them away, put 4 new ones in it. Ain't no big deal.
Or use
But that's about as
rechargeable.
cheap as I could figure out how to get out with it. But I will admit, I never thought about using a battery backup like that, or I have 2 or 3 of them around here. I'd have used it.
Sometimes if
I'm
you
just
set
cheap.
up like if you just set up an ESC, you can just use the BEC from the ESC. So just hook the motor like you'll usually hook it up to the battery, and it's going to supply the power to the Jetty box.
Well, that'll work, but if you already got everything together and you're just trying to reprogram something, that's a
Yeah.
whole lot of hooking wires. That I mean,
Yeah, if you
I got it
if
from
do
you,
just the
Trian.
timer,
You had a little battery in. I just said, well, how can I get a little battery the cheapest way? And I got to looking, and I said, what the heck? I'll just buy this little plastic bracket, because I remember having them in RC cars.
oh
way
yeah,
back
they're
when.
great.
It works.
They're
It works,
super,
and it's
man.
cheap. So
Cheap is good.
So I
cheapskate.
sent two tuts out today. I sent one to you, Phil, and one to Howard.
Howard's getting another one. Cool deal.
Yeah, I don't need a tut mount. You send Phil a tut mount?
Yes, I did.
Good.
That's courtesy of Howard Rush, Phil.
Well, thank you, Howard. I appreciate it. Both of you.
You got
Appreciate
your
it.
bike cast, Phil?
My what?
Your bike cast. Battery
Bike.
indicating and crew alerting system.
No, I don't have that. I don't
You
even know
don't?
what it is.
I didn't send you
I don't
that.
even,
Where did
I don't
send
even know
that?
what that is.
Now, you're in my post office address book. So I sent you something.
Yeah.
What did I send you?
You sent me the vector directors. I forgot what you call them. The things that stick up on the wing. The
Vortex
Oh,
generators.
vortex generators. God.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you don't have a bike cast. How many cells you got in your battery? Yeah, you can't use the tut without a bike cast.
The one I'm going to use the tut on is 6 cells.
6 cells.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because that'll go in my contest airplane.
Okay.
I'm not going to do all this fancy stuff on the sport planes, but the contest stuff I will.
Yeah, this will be fancy. You can do a loop kill now.
That's what I'm
That's
hoping
really
for.
fancy.
That's
Woo-hoo.
fancy.
Yeah.
The only way I could do
Yeah.
a loop kill is if I plaster it into the ground at the bottom of the loop.
That's what I was thinking, Lynn.
Ooh,
I was thinking of a figure 9. Yeah.
let's don't
Loop
even
kill.
think about that, guys.
Yeah, loop
I've
kill.
done my share of those.
There, I killed it. The loop's done and it's done.
Yeah.
Stop.
All right. That being said, let me ask everybody something. What was your hardest maneuver to learn to fly? I kill more airplanes learning one maneuver than
Yeah.
any other.
For me, it was
By far.
the vertical 8. I
Well,
pancaked so many planes coming
you're
out of
close
the
to what
top
did
loop,
me.
going to the bottom loop. I didn't move my hand for a while. Kept pancaking my planes till a friend of mine goes,
Mine was the
"Charles, you need to
hourglass.
follow with your arm all the way around."
Yeah, mine was the hourglass.
The hourglass.
I kept laying them over too darn much, and then I couldn't make that turn.
Ooh, yes.
So
yes.
I finally figured out. Big Art got behind me one day. I was flying old time, and old time doesn't have an hourglass. But he asked me why I didn't fly the way I fly. Why don't you compete more than you do in modern contests? Because I see at the nationals in old time, but never in modern. I said, because I keep tearing planes up. Every time I build a really good airplane, I tear it up trying to learn a dadgum hourglass. He said, all you got to do is stand with your feet apart and point this toe that way and this toe that way. And then just realize where your toes are and pull the airplane up on line where your toes are. It said, when you get to your shoulder over here, pull up. I said, okay. But then I understand this loop and I'm this turn and this turn, but how do you not lay this one down? He said, point it at your foot. Try to point it at your foot. And if you do that and you think about it, you'll notice that your exits start getting more and more up. And I thought, how can something so simple make such a difference? Because I've been doing that ever since.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many planes I tore up trying to learn that maneuver. I finally got that one down, and I don't know. And the funny thing about the whole thing is, Tom and the guys that I were flying with at the time said, your best maneuver is a triangle. How in the heck can you blow an hourglass?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I did it. So anyway, it was a tough one to me. What was your hardest, Howard? Oh, heck, you flew combat. You could do all of them easy.
Well, I haven't quite learned how to do the overhead 8 yet, but I'm working on it.
I think we're all there. on
Howard,
that
I've seen you fly, brother. You're all right.
Yeah, he can fly worth a damn.
one. Nice. Nice.
Hey, he was just ninth at the Nationals this year in that wind. I mean, you know, one of these days he'll learn how to fly.
That was
We're
nice
waiting.
when I flew.
I think he
Yeah,
was
right.
happy not to fly in that wind.
Yeah, I tell you. I know it was a mess because I heard Todd Lee say he was glad he didn't place better because he didn't want to fly in that crap. And Todd Lee, I've seen Todd Lee fly in some wind that, I mean, it'd take your hat off your head, and Todd would still fly. So if he didn't want to fly.
I saw him fly at that real windy nest. Really windy
Yeah.
nest. It was blowing a hoolie. This
Yeah.
was
A hoolie?
2006 or something. And he crashed, and it was so windy that the smithereens just disappeared.
Oh, no evidence. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
That's
all the
what
airplane,
when you lose your plane.
yeah, all the shit
Well, I
blew
tell you
away
what.
right after it hit.
I tell you what,
Yeah.
I have watched for years the top guys fly, trying to pick up anything I could pick up. And it always got me that Fitzgerald and a few of the others, when they do their overheads, they got their right hand on the ground and they're flying with their left hand. I don't remember Fitz putting his right hand on the ground, but he's all the way down on his one knee.
He's sitting in a
flies
chair.
like it. Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it when he's flying.
Yeah.
But he gets over and flies right down on the ground. I'm sitting there. If he has to run at all,
He ain't
it's not
running.
going to
He's
work.
got nowhere to go. He doesn't.
He's got nowhere to go. He can't duck. He can't nothing.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, he don't fall over backwards. That's what it is. That's what I think it is. They're afraid they're going to fall over backwards. I have no idea what it really is. I'm only making a bad attempt at a joke, but I have to bend over backwards and then pivot as much to one side as I can, as much as I can to the other one. But Dave is one of those guys that is so dang good that you just watch him fly and you think, how does he do that? And why does he not worry about a puff of wind blowing him down or something? But he just doesn't.
Yeah.
So Howard,
He's really
to answer that question Phil asked, what plane or what maneuver cost you the most as far as crashes?
I don't know.
Okay.
He didn't crash.
How about you, Lynn? Do you
Howard
remember
don't
what
crash much.
maneuver cost you the most?
Oh, definitely. It would have been the horizontal eights and the square eights. And the reason is because I was doing them backwards. I didn't know how to do them. When I started doing them, I was doing the inside loop on the wrong side and the outside loop behind it.
Yeah.
So in other words, I would do an inside loop and then come around and go outside. So
Holy Toledo.
I thought the way you did it was like a lazy eight. So I was trying to do square eights like a lazy eight. I was going inside and then going outside this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know what's weird?
I smoked
Sounds
a
like an
few
old time.
airplanes. Oh my God, I
Yeah.
smoked. And the first time I went to a contest and did that, one of the guys who flew stunt goes, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
They said, "What are you trying to do?"
The first
You got
contest.
all the maneuvers backwards. How did you do that?
That's
The first
pretty
time
bad
I
when the
went to a
judges come out and
contest-
ask you, what did you do there?
Yeah, what was that? They were
The first
square
con-
eights. Well, yeah, they had the idea that they were square. But you got everything backwards. You're doing all the maneuvers in the wrong sequence, and oh man, I messed it up big time.
Oh,
Hey,
that
Trian,
would hurt.
so
Yeah.
Trian, what maneuver cost you the most in airplanes? Collateral damage.
Collateral.
I don't think I had a particular maneuver, most of the time is the plane's breaking in the air. I think that's my maneuver. Structural failure.
Wow.
Failures.
I had that happen
Yeah.
once.
And another thing that happened to me is just flying through my own wake. I
Yeah.
remember
that'll get
having
ya.
one plane from the Nats, one of my first beautiful finishes and stuff like that. I'm flying it. I'm practicing these triangles. They were just beautiful, right? And I'm coming back on the second triangle through the same quarter. It was like a wrestling match. It's like something was waiting for the plane to grab it, and it just grab it and what?
And throw it down.
Wow!
Yeah, that's,
Have
I've heard
that.
that before.
You know, I was like,
Heard that
whoa!
before.
I was
Now-
like,
When you
that?
that's when you learn to
Yeah.
step back every step.
I've
Yeah,
heard that
what
before.
was that? Yeah,
You
what
I'm
was
feel
gonna-
that
like
moment?
you're catching a ball. Somebody throws a ball at you, so hard that you catch it and you drop with it. It felt
Yes.
like same like somebody grabbed my plane and just smack it to smithereens into the ground.
Wow.
The last one
The
was
only
again, the plane failed, right?
The only thing worse than flying in too much wind is flying in not enough,
Yeah,
because
you're
you
right.
get those wake, hit that wake turbulence, and you're just
Oh,
gone.
man.
You're just along for the
Yeah.
ride.
Yeah.
That's
How
spooky.
about how about someone else? So how about you, Tom? Any maneuver that cost you dearly?
The one that I can think of now is when I was flying inverted and the engine quit while I was
Ooh.
inverted, and I tried to get it right side up.
Oh
quick.
yes, that's
That
Oh
was
yeah,
a
tried to bring it
terrible-
around.
that is the
We've
worst
all done
thing
that.
you can
That
do.
didn't turn out very well.
No, that's the worst thing, but that's the most natural inclination.
Yeah, give it full down and try to outrun 60 feet of line. Never works.
Never works.
Yeah, it does not work.
Never works.
I'm gonna
Oh, my
ask
Lord.
I'm gonna ask Gary, but while I'm asking Gary, are you out in the audience or in the chat box? You can tell us what maneuver cost you dearly as far as learning a maneuver. So don't, if you're listening to us, go ahead and comment in the chat box. So Gary, what about you, Gary? What maneuver cost you dearly?
I don't remember.
Don't
I
remember?
just did loops and wingovers. About all I did,
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
was it the loop or was it the wing over? It's the one that cost.
No, I don't know of anything.
I understand. It's been a while. I know it's been a
Yeah.
while. How about you, Al? What maneuvers cost you dearly?
Well,
Of the stunt pattern, I mean.
yeah, stunt pattern. Well, that was just recently at a contest. Yeah, it was the outside loops.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was doing the first. The first one was close to the ground. The second one was really close, and I said, "Oh, I got to make an adjustment." And the
Yes.
third one, I just like skimmed it right in. Yeah,
Ah,
that was, the wind.
You
The wind
adjust
was,
that one, all right?
The wind was helping me. But
Yeah,
that's
that
that's
damn
over
wind.
flying.
Damn wind.
But, you know,
Well,
It's that the first one was close to the ground.
It's
Second
not the
one was
pilot,
really
it's the
close.
damn wind.
The
Yeah,
third
so
one was
I'll
on
tell
the
you.
ground.
bringing around, just down, and I kept coming around, and I was trying to get the bottom, and the bottom got me.
yeah, it happens.
yeah.
Yep. How about
I
you,
did that
Brendan,
in-
or did Anstrom? If you want to throw Anstrom underneath the bus, you can do that.
For me, it's been the outside loops have been a struggle. For some reason, I just can't. I'm yelling at myself. When I'm inverted, okay, down, down, down. Like just trying to mentally keep telling myself
Right.
that down is good and safe. And then I'd get into those outside loops, and I don't know if just mentally I close my eyes, or what. But the first 3 or 4 of them just constantly were hitting the ground. So. Outside loops were I've kind of gotten through it now. So those were the toughest ones for me. But starting out, one of the hardest things for us is we were given kind of these plane plans that were someone's like combat wing design and plane to put together. So I didn't know what I was really doing. And so in the clevis system, we had sort of a makeshift clevis that I didn't realize that you were supposed to have it in the horn there just as free as can be. So instead I had it tightened up. And so I'm telling you, for almost the first year of flying, we constantly had a very tight, system in there in the horn. And I couldn't for the life of me figure out what in the world was wrong with what we were doing and how we were flying. So, it almost took a full year before someone pointed out, hey, that's supposed to be loose in there. And then, we finally were able to kind of get things going. But it was a hard lesson to learn, because just constantly putting hours and hours into flying and trying to figure out why in the world the plane's not responding correctly.
Right. I see you, Phil. Are you done, Brendan?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, go ahead, Phil.
Anybody that I had an awful time with control systems. I do everything right. It was all loose and it was all beautiful and everything was great. And I'd put the thing together and everything was tight. I couldn't figure out for the longest time, what in the world am I doing wrong? Well, Tom Dixon looked at my airplane one time and he says, you really need to get my CD set. It's just one CD and go through it. It's got all his articles from Stunt World, and it tells how to do hinges. Well, I thought I knew how to do hinges, but I went ahead and bought Tom's articles just more to appease Tom than anything else. Well, let me tell you something. Since I started doing it Tom's way, my control systems have never been as nice as they are now. The last two have been very loose and nice, and hinges don't bind, and it's so nice to go out with a plane the first time, and when you pull on the lines and you let go of them, the elevator falls down or the flaps fall, whichever one's heavier. The last two airplanes hadn't had flaps. So, but I'm telling you, it's, if you have any problem with control systems or any of that, it's $10 well spent. Tom Dixon, and just ask him for his Control Line World article CD.
I know
and
it's to me before. I just haven't taken.
It's worth it. It's worth it, because I thought I knew, and it covers flying in the wind. It covers maneuvers, each maneuver. It covers so many things. It's well worth the $10. And no, I don't get a kickback. I see Tom maybe twice a year, but he is a very knowledgeable flyer and engine builder.
Yes,
so
he is.
He's a great guy.
He did all my early good stunt motors, all my Tiger 51s. He worked them all for me, and every one of them still works like a champ today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got several. I've got several of his motors and several of Randy Smith's motors.
When Tom tells me to do something, I do what he says, and guess what? It works.
Yeah, he was the one. The one thing Tom Dixon ever told me that I thought, okay, he's finally lost his dadgum mind. He wanted me to put the stuff that I put on my dashboard in my model fuel. I said, Tom, have you lost your cookie? What's going on? He says, your fuel is foaming in that tank. If you'll do this, it'll quit. So he went to the car and he brought back, I didn't have any with me. He brought back a little bottle of, I forgot what that stuff's called.
Armor All.
And he put like 4 drops of it in a gallon of fuel. And before he did this, he shook my gallon of fuel up. It was a brand new gallon. I'd only flown one flight of it. He shook it up and it foamed like a beer.
Right.
And then he put 4 drops of this in it and he shook it again and it didn't foam at all. He says, fly that. I flew it. It didn't do the burping. It didn't do any of the ugly stuff. It ran. I don't question Tom Dixon anymore. If he gives me a hint, I go do it.
Yeah,
he's one of those people. If Tom speaks to you, you need to listen, because he knows what he's talking about, and he's never steered me wrong. I mean,
no, me
he's a great
neither.
guy.
I agree. 100%.
Phil,
Yes, sir.
over the, I don't know, last few weeks, I've sent a few emails to you and got no response. And I'm like, I wonder what's going on. And today I sent you the tracking number, and
I got it.
I know, but I got this response back and it said, this is Paul Bailey. You have the wrong email address.
Oh,
So
that'll work. That's
why I had to call you today.
Yeah.
Damn it, Phil, why
Okay.
don't you answer the messages?
It don't ring. I don't pick it up, man. I mean, you know.
Answer the damn messages.
You know, I'm hard-headed that way sometimes. I got a guy call me today. I got a guy call me today, wants me to go fishing. I'm sitting there. You do realize it's December, right?
you'd have to drill a hole in the ice up here to go fishing.
Oh, it was 70. Well, it wasn't 70. I think it was 55 degrees today. And I was running around outside in this shirt. I mean, just a shirt, and I've got my sleeves rolled up. So it's beautiful here today. I mean, it was a little chilly. And if you'd been in a boat blasting across the lake, yeah, I'd have wanted a light jacket. But it's beautiful. It's been beautiful weather. But this time of year in North Carolina, if you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes. It normally will change. And it's usually pretty darn chilly here. If you go out there right now, you better take a good jacket. I don't know what the temperature is outside. And my watch is giving me all these China Eastern messages that evidently they've got. Oh, it says it's 57. No, it's 34 outside right now. It's 57 was the high today.
Wow.
But
Let me get.
I like
top of the
China
cap
Eastern,
box,
so the
Phil.
video always tells me when they're coming on. Go ahead.
All right. So, and by the way, thank you, Al, for coming in, and Bill Irvin, thank you for coming in, and Gary, thank you for coming in, and Brendan, thank you for coming in. So let's see here. Mark Lumen says liked from Legos. All right. Well, thank you.
Oh,
And Dennis Adamison says hi, gang, and then he goes on to say like delivered. And in Montana Farmer, I haven't seen you in a while, Montana Farmer. He says, hey, Charles, where has John been? John Miller, I think you're probably talking about John Miller. He, last I heard, he was in the hospital. And so I understand he's getting better. That's all I know.
Good deal. I'm glad to hear that.
And Dennis, I'm not sure what your last name is, Dennis. He says, I have 18 flights on my Magician. First control line since 1970.
Wow.
Building a chipmunk and wondering about the Venturi size for a Como, the one that's like a Super Tiger motor. 40. I'd like to convert this RC motor to run stunt. I don't know what the number is, but if you look at Jim Lee Machine Shop, now there are other people, but Jim Lee Machine Shop might know what the ID should be of that Venturi. And I imagine that
Jim will know.
And Randy Smith would know.
Or Tom Dixon.
Tom Dixon would know too. So I don't know. Do you know anybody what the ID for a Venturi for basically a Super Tiger 40?
I have a Como 51, and it's a Randy Smith motor, and it runs like a clock. It's beautiful. I don't think it makes quite the power that the Tiger does, but then its sleeve, it's a bushing instead of a bearing. So
I had good luck with that motor years ago too. It was a really good stunt motor.
Yeah,
really good.
They run great.
They
I understand that the Como was made by the brother who made the Super Tiger, right? They're like a family business.
Yeah.
And they split up, and one
it was designed to be the inexpensive line of Super Tiger, but it just didn't catch on for some reason.
All right. And let me continue. Then Paul Taylor says, hey guys. And then Jeff Riley says, turn 4 of the hourglass. Let me see here. So that's the one that did you in, huh?
The final.
4. Okay.
The final turn.
I can see that because I have a similar problem with the vertical 8. It was that bottom turn did me in, Jeff Riley. So I think we had that in common. And Thomas Greasy, who I haven't seen in forever, he says Randy Smith might know what Venturi size should be in the Venturi. That's right, Tom Greasy. Come on in here, Tom. I know you know how to get in here. I think go to the at the bench and choose the link with today's date. And then Mark Lumen says some days just doing the outside maneuver of walking out the door.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Oh, that's funny. When you think about it, that is really funny. Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of people tell me turn 15 or turn 16 of the square 8. Think about it. The last time you level out, or when you go to turn to go straight back up and you go down instead of up.
Now,
but anyway,
Williams, he has a comment. He says John Miller is back home now. So I'm mistaken.
Great deal. Good deal.
Who was I telling that to?
Good news.
So Montana farmers, so disregard what I said. John Miller's back home. That's fantastic. Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike Lonke, thanks for coming in. And I received your Christmas card. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Beautiful family, by the way. And you look pretty good too. Let's see here. And then Brent Williams says,
Good
John
one,
will be
Charles.
under the care of his stepdaughter for the next few days. Thank you, Brent Williams, for letting us know what's going on. And then Montana Farmer says, yes, thanks, Charles and Brent. Great to hear. And then Marcel Legrand, evening, Charles and Stunthangar team. Please tell me if there is any news on John Miller and Sparky. I've been praying for them. Well, Sparky texted me today, and he said he's still not quite up to snuff, but he expects to be better in a few more days. So that's all good.
I'm glad to hear it.
That is
Sparky's
all
too
good.
mean to let it keep him down for long.
Right. And Marcel
I
Legrand
hope.
says, "Oh,
I hope.
that is such good news." Yes, yeah, we definitely have some overcomers here in Stuntland, so that's good news.
You
So
have
I'm
to
all
be
caught up
tough
with the
these
chat
days.
box, and so Bill Urban, what has been your most costly maneuver as far as a stunt pattern, as far as you crashing planes or damaging planes, tearing them up?
It seems like the outside, any outside square maneuver, that coffin corner always gets me, and I seem to land planes upside down with that maneuver more often than I should over the years.
Pancake.
Yeah, but I've never wiped any planes out, but I've scraped the tops of them on asphalt.
Man, you are lucky.
Yeah.
That's
So
pretty good. You are lucky. That's pretty good.
yeah, I still do that maneuver on occasion when I'm out of practice. But I tell you what, since I've got you guys here and I've got a captive audience, I've got some news that may be good or bad, but I've now been in the stunt event long enough that I have a plane that qualifies for the Nostalgia 30 event.
Nice.
And I took some pictures 30 years ago. So I got some pictures of me with the plane 30 years ago. It's a pretty cool plane. It's a copy of one of Wendy's planes that he flew 30 years ago, that Red Baron.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I
So,
remember the Baron.
yeah, he designed the Red Baron and went to the Reno Nats with it. And it just dawned on me that I think he decided to bring that Red Baron because, or build a Red Baron racer just because the Nats were in Reno that year. But when I first saw that plane in the magazine, it was in Flying Models. I want to say it was in the October '89 issue of Flying Models, and it showed the Red Baron just coming right at the camera at 5 feet. And man, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. So I immediately, without any experience or knowledge, went ahead and made a 35 size copy of Wendy's Red Baron. And that was in 1989. So it's over 30 years old, my design and Wendy's design. But I did put pencil to paper, and I built the thing, and I flew a couple of contests. I did design some flaws into it. I made the tank compartment a little bit too small, and I made the stab and elevator with the most beautiful light 3-pound balsa you could ever imagine. So it was kind of flexible, but overall it's a pretty good plane. And the couple times that I flew it in the advanced class out here on District 10, I managed to place with it. So it's a good plane. And I took some pictures, and if you guys want to, I don't want you to bring up I'll bring up some pictures.
All right.
And, but I don't want you guys to wait. This may take a second. I've only done this a couple times here. So, sure.
While you work on that, let me ask Mike Lonke, if you don't mind, Mike, or if you're too busy, to tell me what plane has cost you dearly as far as learning a maneuver.
Mike's muted, Mike.
I have never crashed an airplane in stunt because of a maneuver. The only airplane I've lost in stunt is because I had the handle upside down.
Very good. That's good results.
When
Darn combat flyers.
right, when I started flying stunt, I came from combat, so it was pretty easy.
Straightforward. Yeah, straightforward.
Right.
Well, you got to remember, they're used to taking turns at 90 miles an hour. So when they're flying at 60, they feel like they got all day. So
I mean,
Mike's a good.
If I had an engine quit inverted or at the wrong place in a maneuver, yes, and had to land upside down. But I can't recall crashing a stunt plane because I just drove it into the ground or got too low or didn't pull out in time or anything like that. So yeah,
That's
no,
good.
not in stunt. I've sure piled enough combat planes into the ground. I can tell you that, and into other piles.
Balled up a few of those over the years.
More than I can count, man. More than I can count.
That's why you take.
I went over in Huntersville.
Buckets full.
Yeah. In Huntersville, Mike was going to, I think it was Mike or maybe it was his son. I can't remember. I walked from the top stunt circle down to the combat circle to watch him fly because I heard he was getting ready to fly. The match lasted about 15 seconds. The walk took about 4 minutes, but the match lasted about 2 seconds. They went up and just the first time they got together, they hit each other, and that was the end of that match. I said then, combat's just too expensive for me. Man, those two motors, you heard those two motor blocks hit each other. Whap!
Yeah. Oh, that sounds good.
I flew fast at the Nats this year, and the average match is about 40 seconds.
Yeah.
But I just the last time that I watched a really fast combat match, Howard was flying at Winston-Salem, and I don't remember what his motor was, but he was flying a plane with a rudder on it. And the planes were so fast, I watched one match with Howard in a clown suit, by the way. And I turned around and walked back down to the stunt circle. I said, that's too fast. I can't even watch them. Y'all be over here, and then all of a sudden you're over there. And I thought, no, too quick for me.
I was standing at the Nats one time watching combats, standing next to Henry Nelson. And combat was being flown, and the engines had head on. It went whack. And he turned to me and said, that's an end-end collision. You get 2 neutrinos and $560.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Howard, the case-to-case thing does sound pretty cool. When it's a couple of or something like that. It's not so cool when it's 2 Nellies doing that and one of them belongs to you. That's painful when you the guys that fly Nelson. The guys that fly Nelsons know what I'm talking about, man. That's no fun.
It's an expensive motor. Hey, that's sharp. I like that.
Really sharp.
Yeah, look at that.
What are you talking about?
The Red Baron.
Oh, hang on. Let me see it here. Oh, yeah.
Is that yours or Wendy's?
That's his. That's not
big.
Wendy's.
That's a copy of Wendy's, and I put a Fox 35 in it. Had no success. I suspect I didn't have it broken in all the way. But when I switched over to a Super Tiger 34, man, that was a match made in heaven. So if I build another, I'd either stick some kind of high zoot Aero Tiger or electric. That'd be kind of fun. But I've got other pictures here. Let me get another picture.
That looks really nice, Bill. That is pretty.
That is nice, Bill. I like that.
Man, I tell you what, I blew on a whole gallon of Sig light coat on that thing, and it didn't weigh too much. It was probably about 42 ounces or something like that. It's a little on the small side. It's about 500 square inches, but other than that, it's just your typical 35 size plane. Somebody thought it was a modified Nobler, which is probably close to a Nobler. I mean, all 35 planes are pretty close to a Nobler, right?
Right. Yeah, they're all Nobler. That's what Sparky said.
Let me find another picture here.
So how did you do the graphics on that Red Baron? Those are really
I have the stencils. I have the 32-year-old stencils, and I tried to find as many pictures as I could of Wendy's 60 size, and I found 3 or 4 pictures of Wendy's in the magazines, and I just tried to copy it onto my wing, and I had to scale it down a little bit. But boy, I had a hell of a time with that stencil. I'm gonna see if I can find another.
I know that's a difficult stencil because
yeah,
my Nobler had similar. I was inspired by Red Baron on my Nobler that I built, and I had mine, but I didn't use the words Red Baron. I used the words Zoe Life, and then of course my AMA number on the other wing panel. That was a lot, and I did it with Ultra Coat. Oh, that looks really pretty.
Very nice.
Great.
That is pretty.
So,
oh,
man,
so
I would watch a Wendy video of how to finish with the dope, and then I'd go out into the garage and I'd basically follow the instructions from his VHS videotape on how to put it. And man, I can't tell you, I want to say I got 3 or 4 months in that finish alone. But it was fun. It was fun. I tell you, polishing a finish and having it come out looking like glass is a lot of fun. And that was the first time I had ever done anything
Gorham
like
silver polish? You use Gorham's on it?
I used Brasso.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, I used Brasso. Let me find out. I didn't have any silver polishes. The reason why I used the Brasso. And there's another picture here.
Gorham's was hard to find there for a long time. I don't even know if you can find it now. I haven't.
Can't even get it now, as far as I know.
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, who's the young guy holding your plane?
That is a 28-year-old me. And man, I had black hair at one point. Turns out.
I'll tell you what, that's
nice
a
looking
sharp
guy
airplane.
there. What happened to him?
Yeah, what happened to that guy?
I think we all ask ourselves that. What happened to him?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm still looking good.
Says you.
Of course.
Oh,
I don't care about the looks. I just like to be able to squat down like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get back up.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
Tell you
at
what,
that.
I don't care. I don't care how it looks as long as we're still looking down at the grass, guys. We're all right.
Boy,
that's the same plane in the nude.
That same plane in the yeah. So
That's nice.
no, he's got clothes on.
I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
right.
talking about the plane.
Nobody needs to see that.
You guys seeing a different picture than me, or what?
Yeah.
Dad,
Looking at the same thing.
you guys are too many. That's all there is to it. I've got a flight box like that.
Oh wow, you even had a the air intake underneath. Wow, that is so
Look
cool.
at that. That is cool.
Yeah. So I was thinking about putting the drawings for this plane on outer zone.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
Outer zone, and then anybody, the plane flies pretty good. I got to build another one myself. So anyway, but it seems like nobody flies Nostalgia 30, but everybody flies Super 70s. So if everyone flies Super 70s, I'm screwed. I can't fly this. But I mean, I
Well,
can still build another one and just
I
fly
love
it.
Nostalgia 30. I flew it at Rodax
Bill,
for years.
are you a West Coast guy, Bill?
Yeah, I'm in Southern Nevada.
Yeah, that's why. So everyone, they fly Super 70s out there. If you go west of the Mississippi, it's classic and N30. No, I've never seen a Super 70s event
No, either have I.
at any of the contests I go to.
It's an Arizona thing.
Maybe I'll be nice to Steve and Ruben and see if they can't include Super 70s in the Vegas contest.
They did. They flew it. They flew it.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I mean Nostalgia 30.
Yeah.
Nostalgia 30.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, they flew classic and Super 70s, and I would have preferred Nostalgia 30 or Profile. I wanted Profile instead of either of those events.
I did include Profile. They have a new announcement for the 2022 Vegas contest. So I'll have to go over the events and see what they got.
Well, Ruben said Steven told me on the show last week they were going to have Profile next year.
Okay.
Now he didn't say anything about Nostalgia 30 or about getting rid of Super 70s. He just said we're adding Profile. I don't know what that means for the other events. But I mean, there was only 3 guys that flew Super 70s.
Okay.
You know, there was 3, and then there was
I would think that you could add. Well, I think they do. They add Super 70s to Nostalgia, and they fly it in the same cycle. So I think maybe they could add the Nostalgia 30 in there too. That way, there's no break in the action where you gotta get.
It doesn't matter. You use the same judges.
Yeah.
You know, because what would happen if they add Profile? I'm not going to fly Classic, but I'll fly Profile. But they were on the same circle anyway with the same judges. So you're just moving me from one event to another. It's not like you're going to have more flights or more, I mean, you might get more pilots that show up maybe by adding events, but realistically, you're just some of those pilots are going to choose to fly other events and move around rather than, I mean, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Can I ask what's the difference? Can I ask what's the difference between Super 70s and Nostalgia 30? What's the difference? I don't know.
Super 70s, they got the 1979, December 79 is the cutoff date for Super 70. So it's everything that was flown in the 70s. And now the 30 is anything that's older than 30 years old.
Okay.
Any design.
Right. So it makes sense then really to run Nostalgia 30 because it opens the event up a little more.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So maybe you could suggest that to Steven, that if he opened it up to Nostalgia 30, he may get more entries that way.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, you know what's legal this year in Nostalgia 30?
No.
The Impact.
The Impact is illegal.
Well, I don't know if the Impact is, but the Intrepid is also. I got a set of plans sitting over here from Randy Smith that says 1992 on them. So, piped PA ships are legal in Nostalgia 30 now. So,
well, I know that the Impact is more than 30 years old because I've been in this house 30 years, and I built my Impact in my little house. So, I know they're 30 years old.
Yeah.
Hey,
Howard probably.
Go ahead.
Howard could probably tell you what year, but I thought it was 1992.
Well, it won the 1992 World Champs, I think.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
92.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, 92, I think.
So the plane had been around a year or two before that because it won the Nats with it first.
So.
Yeah.
It won the Nats with it first,
So I can say Nostalgia 30.
I like that. I like that because I just happen to be building an Intrepid. So next year, I can fly my Intrepid on Saturday in N30, and I can fly it on Sunday in PA.
Most of the contests put a restriction on it saying that the nostalgia classes fly non-pipe ships.
Oh, bullshit.
Oh, that's BS.
Well,
That's
I got hit
ridiculous.
with it. I
Doesn't
took
mean
one in the
anything.
contest and couldn't fly it. So
Where?
they wouldn't let me fly it.
Ridiculous.
Not at Huntersville.
No, I've never taken it to Huntersville. I don't even remember where it was.
Well, that
I
goes
believe the
against
plane-
against the intent of the rule. If pipe ships were available in 1992, they're allowed in N30. Period.
Yeah, exactly.
I showed up at a contest with a tuned pipe on the side of a profile, and you never heard such a furor.
Oh,
They
that's
had fits
crazy.
over that one.
Yeah.
They had fits over that one, and it's
That's okay. They
profile.
lost
I mean,
the entry fee too, didn't they?
They lost everything because I packed
Yeah.
that one home.
Yeah. See, so that wasn't very bright on their part.
Well, that's I'm gonna call bullshit on that, because that's the same thing as saying a guy that shows up in N30 with an electric motor isn't allowed to fly it because
Well, that's
Exactly.
what I said. That's exactly what I said, because the guy did show up with electric and was allowed to fly it. So
Yeah,
why can
and
he
he
fly
should
an
be.
electric and I can't fly a pipe?
Yeah, exactly.
it's
Go
it's the
figure.
same as somebody having an Aero Tiger on an old time stunt plane.
Covered
I've
with
seen
water
that.
coat.
Huh?
But
Yeah.
you know,
Say again, Howard?
Covered a monocoque.
now if you think
Covered
about the
them
N30, if the SVs and the Intrepids are allowed, you know, those are about some of today's right now actual some of the best flying planes and best performing planes, and not much changed after that.
That's
Right.
true.
There was
But
about
that's-
5 years. that
that's
I
the
was
whole-
about to fly.
I call it a modern top of the line plane.
But that's the whole
It is.
spirit of the event, that it's a
Oh,
rolling.
I get it. No,
And every year, new models will be allowed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't say no, but that assumes like
Oh.
big changes and big steps are being made in design and stuff like that, and which we're not.
But I would say any CD that says you can't fly a pipe ship in N30, I would just challenge him to say, well, then get those electric motors off those old time stunt planes. Get those
That's
electric
what I said.
motors.
Yeah, they didn't
The
have.
I didn't
classic
say old time. I say classics, because there were no electric motors back in the.
Get 'em-
The
get 'em
classic.
off.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually, you've seen it. That is actually what provoked me to build that blue and yellow Nobler with an electric motor, to take to that contest and try to fly it in classic. And they didn't have the contest. They haven't had the contest the last 2 or 3 years since I built that. So anyway,
There.
I think that nostalgia
2
30
years,
is
last 2 years.
a flawed concept. I'm nostalgic for things that happened in 1962. As it was done in 1962. I'm not nostalgic for a stunt that was 30 years ago. Now, that criterion, though, does have an application, and that's like for women. Now, you wouldn't want a woman who was born more than 32 years before the current date. So I think it's a valid criterion for that, but not for stunt.
Really?
he likes young women and old bourbon. I know. I agree.
Old women, young women and old airplanes.
Well, hey, Howard, I'm down with that. You know, having
I'm
a
down with that too.
30-year-old wife all the time. But problem is, what do I do with the one I got now, man?
Oh God, look at you're gonna get hurt.
You better hang on to her, because she takes care of you. Oh, man. I'm gonna hang on to the one I got, because I don't think
Me
anybody else
too.
will put up with me.
Me too. I got that problem too.
Yeah,
My problem is not putting up with me. It's just taking care of me.
yeah. Well, that too. But I got the bright idea. I'll tell you a dumb one on myself. I've been having back problems for months, back, shoulder, and arm problems for the last 6 months. So I finally get through a lot of PT and a lot of exercising. I finally got where I don't hurt, and I feel pretty good. My hand still goes to sleep sometimes. I'm working on that. But my Christmas trees in the front yard, little metal white Christmas trees, 2 of them, standing out there in the front yard, and the wind keeps blowing them down. So I get the bright idea to go around to the other side of the house and grab 2 big, heavy I forgot what you call it, working around the house, outside, whatever. Bricks
Patio
there.
slabs, yeah.
Yeah,
Concrete
yeah,
slabs,
weigh about
yeah.
25 pounds a piece. I decided to grab 2 of those up and walk around the house, put them on the Christmas tree, and then went back to get 2 more.
You're in
Well,
trouble.
that was yesterday, and today my back, I didn't think I was going to get out of bed by myself this morning.
Wow.
Yeah, that'll
So I
learn
won't be
ya.
doing that stupidity anymore.
No. Carry
Next time I'll
airplanes,
take-
they're nice and light.
Yeah, yeah. Tom wanted, I got a buddy that wanted to go flying. I'm sitting there. That'd be nice, but I can't even move. If I get down to launch shore, somebody's going to have to roll me off the field, off the
Oh,
circle. So
God.
it hurt this morning. I'm all right now, but man, I tell you what, I won't do that stupidity again.
Well, you
I've got a
will, but it'll
perfectly
be
good
something
hand
else.
truck.
It's what we do because we don't think. I do
Yeah,
it too. I
I've
do
got-
stuff and then I go, oh shit, yeah, I am still sick.
Phil, did you
Well,
get to
40
try to
years
rig
ago, I
that?
could do that.
anymore.
20, 30 years ago, I could do that and not think about it. I did stuff like that all day long. But
Yeah,
it's
well, you can still
20,
do
30
it,
years
not
later,
think about it.
and
yeah.
I can't do it now.
Yeah,
Your
doing
mind
it
still
not-
says you. Your
Yeah,
mind
you-
still says you can, but your body says, "No,
Oh,
sucker,
yeah.
that ain't gonna happen." Whew.
Yeah. You can still do it and not think about it. And the result just isn't the same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Phil, did you
I'm telling you.
fly the Ringmaster?
I did, and it flies great. It flies great. I did not get a chance to fly the new prop. I
Okay.
just have an aversion to flying in the rain, and it started raining, and I wanted to get out there and fly some, but I got up Saturday morning. I went out in the backyard, let my dog out on a dog run, and I don't think you could have seen the top of the circle if you'd done a wing over in my backyard. So I called the guys and tried to find out where they were, and they said, "Well, we're all headed to breakfast." Okay. So then I find out some of them, 3 of them, actually went flying.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I didn't go. I'm planning on going either tomorrow. I won't be tomorrow. Excuse me. Either Wednesday or Friday.
Okay.
Tom Looper and I are going out flying, and I will fly it then. Probably give you a call, let you know, because if it works, I'm going to have to find out how to get some of these things. But
Yeah, I'm curious.
no, I'm curious too. I want to know how this works. But the plane
Phil,
looks
you just
really
have to
good.
see the plane when it's coming close to the ground, right?
My reflexes are not as good as yours, Trian. I don't know. Evidently, mine are nowhere near as good as his, because if he can see it that close,
You guys
No.
were talking about square maneuvers, inverted outside square maneuvers, and pancaking them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You remember my 1.5 foot or so, Phil?
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember a collective from a bunch of us, and it wasn't our hands. Everybody was, "Hey!" Train got really close on the backside at Huntersville, and the backside at Huntersville is a place where the air comes over the hill and slams down, and you don't usually get out of that. That plane pulled out of that, and we were all just, "How did he do that?" But he did it.
That's
There
my
was a whole
favorite
bunch-
maneuver. The outside square is my favorite maneuver, driving that thing
Man,
down.
He
I don't know
scared the crap out of us.
Howard was paying attention at Las Vegas and saw when I was flying Dane's airplane, but there was a couple of times where I had some 6-inch bottoms with Dane Saki.
I'll tell you what,
Awesome.
one of the first tuned pipe planes I ever saw was Randy Smith's. And I don't remember what the plane was. It was not an SV. But I'm not even going to promise you that it was a piped airplane, but Randy Smith was here and Bobby Hunt was here. Bobby was flying the Crossfire with OPS 40. Randy Smith had something, but he made an inverted pullout on his wing over. How the propeller did not hit the ground, I do not know, but he left a mark of balsa in that brand new black asphalt for a quarter of the circle. When he landed, his rudder was a quarter of an inch short, but he just skinned it just all the way around there. And how the prop didn't hit, Tom Looper still tells that story. How he didn't tear that plane up, I don't know, but he flew. It was a pretty flight. Other than that one pullout was about 6 inches high, but it didn't crash.
Guys, I got to get out of here. It's probably against protocol, but how's John doing?
I hear he's at home being cared for by his stepdaughter. Was it stepdaughter-in-law or stepdaughter? So he's back home.
Excellent. Excellent. That's good
That's
news.
good.
But before
Okay.
you go, Eddie, I just want to ask everybody: have you sent Gary Sinclair your pictures for next year's
Yes.
calendar?
I wish I had sent them sitting down instead of holding the planes because I didn't realize my gut was so big. But yeah,
Hey,
Gary, I think I
Charles,
overloaded you. I think I sent you like 8 pictures. I don't know. I sent you a
I
bunch.
got him. I got him.
Charles,
You
I
did.
texted you my picture. Could you pass it on to Gary?
Yeah, send it to me, Al. I'll get it to him.
Well, I just sent it to Charles.
Oh, you sent it, Charles.
What,
Okay.
just now?
Yeah, I texted to you. Did you get?
Oh,
Easier to email it, Al.
Uh,
yeah, it'd be easier to email it. That
That's,
definitely.
that's how he wants them in an email. Email them to me, Al. I'll forward them on to
text me your email, Mike.
mlonke@yahoo.
Okay.
And it's not LONKIE like Steve shipped my propeller. It's LONDKE.
Okay, guys. Y'all be good.
All right,
Take it
Eddie,
easy,
thanks for
Eddie.
coming in,
We'll see
Eddie.
you later.
Appreciate
take it
it.
easy.
Yeah.
And hello,
I'm gonna
Carl.
check out
Thanks for
soon.
coming in, Carl.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
I'm gonna check
Howard.
out. I got to get up early tomorrow.
All right, thanks for coming in, Al. I appreciate it.
Take it
Good night.
easy, Al.
take care, Al. Come
Night.
in Friday and I'll let you know how that plane prop flew.
All right, sounds good.
Howard,
Yes.
I have packages coming from Igor. The last little bit.
Good.
I have assembled all of the parts for my Frankenstein. Got props, got a motor, got an airplane, got batteries, timer, and the ESC is on the way. But man, I got kicked in the teeth with the exchange rate from the US dollar to the euro right now, man. Holy
Hey.
cow.
I just ordered some stuff from Australia and the exchange rate has changed $20 in the last 2 weeks. I lost $23 by waiting 2 weeks to ship this thing till it was ready. I should have just sent him the money 2 weeks ago.
275 US for 230 euros. So
Yeah.
275 for one timer and one ESC. That's
That's about
pretty
right.
spendy, isn't it?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's expensive, but they're good timers. I don't know about the ESC. I don't know that the ESC is any better than anybody else's, but his timer is
good.
amazing.
It's the only one that works with Igor's timer.
Well, it works. Someone ought to do some testing to see what if there's another timer that has all the features, including the brake and stuff, and then has the frequency response that's been
It's
60.
supposed to be
Yeah,
faster.
then we get Tom to build them, Howard.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, it's supposed to be faster. It's faster than the Spin 60 Pro. I got the Pro, 2 of the Pros, and it seems pretty quick, but they tell me the other one is better. So I'll have to take a word
there's
for
some
it.
reason to use the other one.
Yeah.
A couple of guys that do pretty good at the nets told me to make sure I buy the old one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Spin 66.
Yeah, that's what I heard too, but
Yeah.
So
that's what I heard
that's
too,
what
but I have not been able to get in touch with Igor to get one, or I would already have it.
Oh, I emailed him. I messaged him on Stunthangar yesterday, and he messaged me back today.
On
And
Stunthangar?
I messaged him on Stunthangar yesterday. I said I want an ESC and an active timer. I want to buy it. Where do I send money? He messaged me back this morning and said send 230 euros to this email address via PayPal. And I sent it, and he messaged me back an hour later and said they're on their way.
Yeah,
I'll have to try to get him tomorrow.
I have not been successful exchanging email with him. I think I don't know whether it's his government or mine, but they know that there's something between me and Igor they don't like, and
Well, the thing is, I'm sorry, Howard. Go ahead.
So this messaging through Stunthangar works more reliably for
It
me.
works really well because I could see when I messaged him yesterday, he was active. He was on. Like if you click on a member's name,
Yeah.
it'll tell you either the last time they were active or if they're on there the moment you're looking at it.
Stunthangar message.
He was
board, okay.
on, but it said he was active, at noon or whatever. And then when I messaged him, he was active at that time. And within an hour, I had a response from him in a personal message. And then this morning, he just said, send the bucks here to this address, PayPal, friends and family. I did it. And an hour later, he said, your stuff's on the way, man.
Speaking
So
of
it
the
was-
devil, I just got a message myself. I have to go.
Yeah, it was $10 shipping though. It was only $10 shipping, or 10 euros, which is a little more than $10. But it was 80 cents. The euros, 80 cents to the dollar. So it takes more dollars to make up those euros.
Yeah.
I just heard from Root Beer. Doesn't matter on the message. I checked.
Oh, Paul Taylor.
Paul Taylor. Yeah.
He's
Well,
on
I'm trying to-
YouTube too. He's on YouTube and Stunthangar messaging.
Does
I stopped in last week with Ryan and picked up a gallon of fuel, and Ryan flew his high zoot drone out in my front yard. Man, it's 100 mile an hour racing drone out there in the neighborhood, terrorizing the sheep and the goats and the goat farm down there.
does I forgot his name now. Can you still get propellers, electric propellers from Igor?
He doesn't have any.
Oh shucks. That seems to be a going thing right now. Is you can get everything but propellers.
Well, I didn't ask him because Howard said he didn't have any, so I didn't bother.
Sure.
I should have, shouldn't I have? I should have.
No, I'll ask you. You stay out of it.
Oh yeah. In case he only has two, right? In case he only has two, Howard, right? Yeah, I got you.
Howard.
I got mine. I got mine
Howard,
from Steve Hines, so I got one.
If he has plenty, I'll take 6.
Okay.
Well, if he has any, Howard, I would like one more. I would like one more.
Just put it in the shipping and put it together and get it to you, and I'll pay the shipping.
Yeah, I only have 3 of them, so I thought I had more, but
You got more than the rest of
6.
us.
Maybe I should make some
I
props.
want to have enough for the year.
Yeah,
That-
Trian, make some
that-
props.
I keep trying to get this guy in
he's a prop maker.
Atlanta to make some more propellers, because the one that I have of his works great on my tuned pipe plane, but I just can't talk him into making any more
I've
yet.
known him to do it. Yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah, I've known him to make a pretty good propeller, but
I don't know if they're hollow, but I'm sure.
I don't think they're hollow. Mine's not. It couldn't be. It's a little bit too heavy
No,
for
it's
that,
an
but
icy
it works
prop.
very well. Huh?
If it's my prop, the gear prop, that was an IC prop. It was designed for the
Yeah,
pipe.
Yeah, it was IC
pipe
prop.
motors.
I've got it
Ryan
on a Pipe
makes-
46, and it works well.
Try and mix the
Works
best
very well.
props on the planet for IC.
Yeah. Howard,
Well, I got to get.
you
I
did
got to
use
get
some
after
of,
him, get him to make them.
you did run some of Pavel Kravchenko's electric props, right?
I tried one.
Do you, if you still have it and you're interested in getting rid of it, I might be able to take it off your hands,
Well, it belongs to Alan Ressinger, and I'd send it back to him if I could find it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So A, it belongs to somebody else, and B, I can't find it. So
Got you. Okay.
But
Hmm.
Never mind. Never mind.
I talked to Chris or Alan and get the lowdown on which of those is the good one and how to get them. And
I did talk to Chris.
Okay.
Yeah, you forwarded me Chris's information, and I messaged him, and he called me. We spoke on the phone at length about
which one does he like?
the 325, which is 12.8 inches. So they come in 340, 325, and 320 millimeter.
325.
And Chris said the 325 was the one that he liked. And actually, Sharat, who I bought the airplane from, recommended the 325 for the Axioma. So that was good enough for me. If Chris Cox says that's the good prop, and Sharat was like, this is the one you need for the airplane I
Yes.
built. I bought
Okay.
2 of his props. Well, 2 of Pavlo's Kravchenko's props that Sherratt sells them, you know, so.
This is,
Is he the guy that builds Igor's props?
No,
don't
it's not
know.
the same guy. We
Okay.
don't know. The-
is this the extended Igor 12-inch one or the scimitar prop?
I can show you,
Okay.
because, you know, I don't know a hell of a lot about these
Well, you
electric.
got an Igor, you can hold them up together and see if
And-
they.
I can. They're in the case. I have, well, they're not, I don't have them here with me. The airplane's already been taken back apart and put back in the case, and the props are in the case. I'll have to go get them. But I can bring an Igor prop and a Kravchenko prop out, and
Oh,
then
thank you. Thank
we
you.
can see side to side, okay?
That'd be educational. Thank you.
I'll do that. I'll go grab them right now.
All right.
Have you ever guys tried the props from the Polish guy? It's called Pole Prop or something like that.
No. Are they hollow?
Yeah.
Wow. Everybody's doing hollow props. And here we are. just
Yeah, I mean, it's just
doing
like
props at all.
they're kind of normal. I don't think the hollow prop is a good construction for a prop. I mean, you can do better things with lighter construction but
Oh.
yeah, compression molding with a solid core of foam.
That's what I was thinking of. If you could mold or cut or something, that rear shell,
Raw
that
cell,
might be an answer.
yeah, raw cell foam core with a unidirectional and some gut. You can make it lighter
Well, you
than what they have,
you could,
and it's not
you could
squishy. It's not gonna what?
do it at high temperature, but there's a minimum gauge problem. You can only get carbon so thin, and so maybe you can get thinner carbon and then use a foam core, but
Yeah, it's lighter. It's always lighter. When you do a solid core for compression molding, it's always lighter than the thicker material hollow.
35 hole.
I don't know what thickness cloth he has on there.
Yeah.
But if it's the thinnest you could get, well, air's light.
Yeah, you said the air is light, but if you think about the thickness of the carbon they put in there versus the weight of the foam core, it's not really comparable. I mean, in my plane, when I have the fuselage sides, the top and the bottom, which is made with a 200-gram carbon fiber, it's heavier, much heavier than the foam or carbon foam carbon fiberglass sandwich, which is much thicker than that. So think about that, Howard. Yeah, I mean, I have an elevator which is about this big. It's about 12 inches in the length. It's about this wide, and it weighs 7 grams. I mean, I can fit 2 props in that 7 grams. Seriously.
Wow.
I mean, I can add more material in there and stuff like that, but you know,
suppose you could NC
here's a good example.
throw a shell into a prop form. That'd be fun.
Here's a good example. This is a landing gear leg, which is done in compression molding, and it's about the size of a prop actually. This is about the size of a prop blade, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And this weighs 5 grams or something like that.
Is that your new plane? The new plane?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I like the paint job. It looks nice.
It looks good.
Turned out really pretty.
Yeah, and this is straight out of the mold.
Wow.
That's phenomenal.
Impressive.
Let me see.
And what's that made of?
It's carbon, but he's painted it in the mold.
But what's in the
I
middle
lied.
of
It's
it?
5 grams.
What's in the middle?
This leg is 5 grams, so it means I can make a prop that's 12 inches diameter. That's about 10 grams.
What's
12,
well, two blade prop. What's in the middle of that landing gear?
This?
Yeah.
I have layers that go like this, plus minus 45 degrees, and I have unidirectionals as well. Solid core, unidirectional again, the same thing. It's like a 5 layers of material inside here.
No foam in there.
It's foam. It's solid core.
What kind of foam?
Raw cell.
Raw cell. Okay.
Yeah. It's raw cell at the core, and this is some.
Wow.
I have some more material here. And,
Wow.
Did I tell you my raw cell story?
Yeah, he's able to laser cut it.
No, there's another raw cell story. Boeing used to have a surplus store. It was wonderful. And they sell foam, like polystyrene foam, for 25 cents a pound. No, 50 cents a pound, I guess. Yeah. And I went down there one time and there was a pallet of raw cell.
I remember you showing us this.
Yeah. And I said, hey, how much for that? And he said, that thin stuff? He didn't say stuff. I'll give it to you for half price, 25 cents a pound. I'll take the whole pallet, I said. So, yeah, I still have a lot of it.
wow.
I bet you do.
So what's the thickness of the raw cell?
I have 1/8 and 1/4 inch.
Wow.
Oh,
And I
is
forget
that,
what the
he calls
number
that
is.
thin?
Yeah, that's what he called thin.
Wow.
It's raw cell 71 and 51, I think. And the 71 or that 1/8 inch stuff is 71. I forget the number, but it's the high temperature stuff also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, give me just a minute. My
Hey. Here's Mike for the prop.
I got props.
One
I got
second.
props.
Big. Let me make it
We're
big.
all
Let's
ears.
take a look at the props.
Make him big.
Let me give
Make it
Howard
small.
some props.
Yeah.
Okay, we're all
Okay.
ears.
So this is the Igor prop that I got from Steve. And according to the sheet, this is a 12.5, okay? Pitch is 12.5. The shaft on it is 235, okay? Not that that really matters, but there is a distinction between this and the paddle prop. The widest part of this prop is 825, okay, but it's pretty narrow. I think, Howard, this is the scimitar, right?
No,
It's not.
no, that's the Igor prop. you
That's
said.
the Igor prop. Okay. All right. Well, that's how much I know about props. So
All right.
that's a 12.5 with the widest part of the blade being 825, but it's pretty narrow most of the way.
Yeah.
This is the Pavel Kravchenko prop that
Mm.
Surratt carries.
Mm.
And it's got a bushing in there. It's got a metal bushing inside. And the OD on that is 315 in there, but it's bushed already. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Guys,
this
I'll be
is
back in a minute. I can take the dog out.
this is the
All right.
325, which is 12.8 inches. But the widest part of this blade is 905, 905 thousandths. But it's much wider all the way.
Oh,
Each-
yeah.
Yeah, each blade is much wider all the way.
Is that a different shape?
It is a different shape.
Might be a different shape,
Let me
but
see if I can. Igor's pop seems to be straighter, straighter on both sides, and Pavel's prop is more curved on it's more rounded on the
Yeah.
trailing edge. The leading edge of it is very similar, but then of course the tips are rounded. They're not
Yeah.
squared off like Igor's prop is.
Okay.
So that's the difference. I don't know how well you can see this on the video, but
Pretty well.
We see it pretty
Okay,
well.
Good, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's outstanding.
That's
so
a
that's the
different one.
difference
than-
between an Igor prop and a Pavel Kravchenko prop. And again, this is the 325. He makes one that's 5 millimeters shorter, and he makes one that's 15 millimeters longer. This is the middle of the road prop. And this is what Chris.
What's
This is what Chris said he was
325
running.
millimeters in inches?
Oh, I can tell you, Howard. I've got them here. The
She's not paying any
340.
attention to me.
The 340 is 13.3 inches. The 325, which is this prop, is 12.8 inches. The 320 is 12.6 inches. But you know what? Here's the other thing, Howard. I don't know what the pitch is on this thing. On Pavel's props. Am I saying that right? Yeah, Pavel Kravchenko. I don't know what the pitch is because Sherratt didn't tell me, and Kravchenko doesn't have a website where you can go and look at these where he lists the pitch on them.
Yeah, just go flat and see what it does.
Right. I mean, I want to say they were for sale somewhere on that Andrei Shakatov guy that runs the F2 ABCD store, the Russian guy. But this is where the water's getting muddied on this Russian and Ukrainian stuff and this Uzbekistan stuff. You don't know who's making them. There's a few different guys selling them, but you don't know if the guy that's selling them is the guy that's actually making them. And a lot of stuff seems to get lost in translation when you're trying to talk to these guys about pitch. Anyway, that's been my experience.
Well, yeah, pitches.
Yeah, I was seriously thinking that making a prop like a 12.6 and a 12 and a 2-blade and a 3-blade variation for electrics. Because I think I think 16 pitch is about ideal for electric. I don't know. Howard, what do you use?
I don't think he heard you. He's engrossed in looking something up right now.
Yeah.
He's trying to get us some information, or he's answering a message to somebody.
You guys, let me interrupt for a minute. I've been.
All right, I'm gonna go, guys. Good night.
All right, thank you for coming in.
Night,
Appreciate that.
Send me the DXF.
There is a a chat from I think this is Ruben McBride. This is McBride 001. And he said Bob Zambelli crashed Wendy's Red Baron at Paul Park, New Jersey.
Yes, he did.
He got a 4-stroke engine in it. It got totally destroyed. Parts of the plane are at Warren Walker's house. Yeah, and I've seen the parts at Warren Walker's house, and I've seen the video, the Wendy Yowski video of the Red Baron when it came to its demise.
So have I.
I remember seeing that video.
Oh, really? Is that on YouTube or something?
I have, it's on YouTube. Yeah.
If you can pull up the right one. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I don't know which one it was.
No, I don't either.
But yeah, you see it go into the asphalt, and you see the wing was a foam wing, and you just see it get destroyed.
Parts and pieces everywhere.
And it was oil soaked. He didn't know it was that much or that extensive damage from oil soak internally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty oil soaked inside.
Yeah. Are you caught up on the chat? I'd like to ask Howard a question.
I am. Thank you, Mike.
Do you know, is Steve Wilk, I know he makes carbon fiber props for the IC world. Is he doing any electric props, eliminator props? Is he doing anything? I'll tell you what, his carbon fiber stuff for IC motors are awesome, man. He makes a really great Nelson prop for combat, and he makes a bunch. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he makes a great Nelson prop.
Better than APC.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on, man. Actually, I said carbon fiber. I'm mistaken there. He makes a great glass prop for a Nelson. He makes a great glass prop for a Nelson. But he does all kinds of carbon fiber stuff too. I'm just curious and I haven't been on his website and looked. I don't see why he wouldn't be jumping into electric stunt props. You know,
Yeah.
he does everything else.
Yeah.
He makes, and he clones, I want to say he clones a bunch of the popular rev up props. He makes some nice
Yes.
carbon fiber versions of rev ups
Wow.
that
Yeah,
are
same with
popular
Bliss.
stunt props. He might be the guy if we figure out, hey, we need some 3-blade electric stuff. If he knows there's a market for it, he might do it.
Yeah, he's a vendor in the vendor section of the.
He is. And he's at the Nats every year. He's on the combat circle at the Nats every year. He'll deliver your order right there.
Very cool.
And he does really nice carbon fiber landing gear too, by the way, for anybody else who doesn't know.
Cool.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
If you
that.
need carbon fiber gear for a stunt plane, yeah, he'll make them.
It's Mike.
Okay.
It's all 2-piece stuff. The landing gear. Does he sell 1-piece landing gear also?
I believe 1-piece and 2-piece. I don't know if he does profile stuff.
Okay.
I want to say based on his picture, looked to me like all 1-piece stuff, because he sells those in the RC world as well. The RC guys buy them from him.
Okay. I'll check it out. I saw 4-inch bell cranks on there the last time I was on there. That seemed like it was a new item.
Oh, Steve's making those, huh?
4-inch carbon bell cranks. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If anybody for some IC props, I saw some new props on Control Line Parts, Ukrainian website where you can get the Stalker motors. He has some new props there he's selling, and some new spinners.
Some nice carbon fiber 3-bladed stuff, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is they're way over pitched. I think.
And they're pretty expensive. They're $60.
Right. Well, yeah, that's what this was. $65 for an electric prop.
Over pitch for what? Like for electric or
For electric, yeah.
For electric.
Yeah, they're like 7 pitch or something like that for a stalker, because they don't run high RPMs or low RPMs, so they got massive pitch to them. But they're actually beautiful propellers. When I was trying to chase down props for my PAs, I stumbled across those, Charles, and I was like, oh man, here we go, carbon fiber props, no problem. But then you start looking at the pitches and you're like, they're
okay for a 424 brake engine, but not for a pipe engine.
Right.
Yeah. I'd like to try one of those on my CAS 77. Now
that might be a good idea. Yeah, go to.
And that's what they're for. That's what they're for, Len, is the K77 and the Stalkers for the FAI fuel, no nitro.
That's what I'm running. They work. Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna look into that.
And they're beautiful. They look good, man. They look good.
That's awesome. Who is this guy?
The spinners were kind of neat.
What's his name?
The website is Control Line Parts. What's his name? Ruslan?
Ruslan.
Okay.
He's the same guy that sells the lines that everybody's so happy about right now.
Yeah.
Or some people were happy about. I wasn't, because I didn't take care of mine, and I must have put them up damp or something. And then the next time I went to fly, there was
shot. Yeah.
a big pile of rust.
No thanks. I won't be using any of those. I'm going to be going Kevlar all the way. Hey, I got my Kevlar today. 250-pound test for lead outs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Nice looking stuff. I'm going to wrap up my first set of lead outs pretty soon. Give it a try.
Okay, so are you wrapping or tying knots? Or are you going around a thimble?
I'm going to wrap them with very thin Kevlar and put CA on them, just like I would wrap a regular set of lines.
I think that's kind of what Trian's doing, right?
Yeah, I think that's what he did too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try it that way first and give it one hell of a pull and see what happens. Hopefully nothing. So yeah, I'm excited.
Cool. You bought it off Amazon or where'd you
Yeah, I
buy
bought
it?
it off Amazon. I'll show you. It's pretty thick stuff, but that's okay. It's just for lead outs and it's light.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the name of that place out? Is it California? Sepulveda? Somebody tell me what it is.
Sepulveda. Sepulveda, I think. That's how I say it. How do you say it, Bill?
Sepulveda Basin. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Sepulveda. Okay. Okay.
It's a nice field. They have a real nice RC field and a nice control line field. They have like three circles, I think, for control line. Two of them are paved, and the other one is I don't know how to describe the surface, but it's not paved.
Who flies out there regularly?
You get the NAG? You get that newsletter that comes out every week?
No, I don't.
Oh, you should get that. You might like it, but there's a bunch of guys that unfortunately they don't come in here. Al Heiger,
Isn't that the one that he came in one night and told us about it? And he gave us all this. I got it one time, and I didn't get it after that. I don't know why.
And
Jerry Silver.
I think
that was a neat publication.
The guy that makes the mufflers.
Len's trying to show us his Kevlar. We'll revisit this.
Hang on, let me make it big.
I don't know if you can read this.
Oh yeah. Yellow Kevlar.
Nice. 250-pound test.
Wow.
This 50.
Huh?
Yeah, I read 50.
No, it's 250.
Okay, maybe it says 50.
It's because it's backwards. The way it's coming through, it's backwards. There's a 2 on there.
MBS 250. Yeah.
Yeah, 250.
Oh, I see the one behind it where it says Will, then says 50.
Okay. Howard scared me. He had me going for it.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Just after Will, it says 50 pounds after Will.
WLL, 50 pounds.
You see that, Lynn?
Well, before that, it says MBS 250.
Yeah. Yeah, I just saw the one after the Will first.
Yeah, so I don't know what the Will means. I don't know what that's about, but anyway.
Can you spool a little out and just there you go. Okay.
Oh, very nice.
I don't know how it's pretty thick stuff. I mean, it's probably I'd say probably about 30 thou.
30. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. I haven't mic'd it, but that's about that.
That'd be great for handles though.
But boy, I'll tell you, I'm not going to be breaking it. I could hang myself on this shit.
Yeah, that would be really good for handles. That's a great idea for handles.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I'm going to try it on handles and everything. I want to get away from steel completely. In a year from now,
best to make a good bet.
Yeah, my idea is to make all my competition planes no steel. There'll be no steel on anything from the lead outs all the way to the handle.
Well, I got one for you. What y'all think about this?
Thank you, Lynn.
I know everybody has gotten the idea of using braid instead of solid lead outs.
Right.
And I'm chicken. I don't think I want to go with solid steel lead out the whole way. But I'd sure like to figure out a way to use a end on the cable the way that it come on that axioma, because where you got the wire bent and you just put your line on there and then slide that back over it. I'd like to figure out a way to do that without using solid wires, because that would do away with that clip. That's a whole lot of wind resistance. Anytime you get rid of some hardware, you're better off.
Use steel wire instead of stainless cable.
Use what kind?
Steel cable instead of stainless cable. That way you can solder to it, like picture hanging wire or something.
Oh, okay. I might do that. I might try that. That thing Mike showed us last week, that looks so neat. And well, like I say, anytime I can get rid of hardware, I'm trying to do it, because it's just the less hardware and crap you got hanging out there in the wind, the better off it is.
Make me big, Charles.
You are big.
You are big.
So the combat planes, that's braided cable with solid wire, and it's wrapped and soldered. Let me see if we can get and just a hook, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see that.
And then you
That's-
put the tubing over it.
That's cable all the way to there. And then that's a solid that's bent into a hook. And then they wrap it and solder it. And then when you put your lines on, there's no connector on here. You don't use a connector. You just slide this piece of tubing.
Oh, that is very interesting.
So that's what I'm trying to say, Mike. That just looks like a better mousetrap than what we've been doing.
Yeah.
How is it better?
Anytime you can get rid of a piece of mechanism that can open or fail in any way, the better off you are.
What
That
the
hook-
first
that
thing is,
hook-
Glenn, you don't have to.
Even though that hook on the end of there doesn't add a mechanism, even though it's got those little sleeves over it, that doesn't stop the thing from coming back and coming out
Well, the other one had metal.
if the lines go slack.
Oh yeah, well,
The Axioma had metal, had a piece of metal slid over it. I was thinking, what about put a piece of tube over the piece of metal, something that would just grip it? I just think that would be a neat idea because it would not go anywhere.
Len, that's what it looks like when you got your line.
I
in.
guess you're right. Yeah, it's not going to go
That's not going anywhere. And the Russian lines, they don't even have a thimble on them or an eyelet.
Okay.
They just go right in there. So there's no connector at all at this
No, I
end.
see
Of,
what you mean. Yeah, I
No
see exactly what you mean. So you just put the line right on it and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, how much this would affect a stunt plane having this little piece of tubing on there, if that's going to create drag.
That's not going to be as bad as the big clips.
Cause
You always use
issues.
those clips that are 1.5 inches long.
But it will never, flop
Yeah.
around, and you won't ever
No,
get
because that comes out straight. It's got to come out straight. The only thing can flex is the cable itself,
right.
the line, and you tie that crap in a knot. It don't hurt it.
Right. So you'll never have a line clip like boogered up and have, your handle be off when you go to take off if you don't check it. Because none of us have ever done that, right? Got to the airplane and had a line, a clip.
never.
done.
Yeah, it can't fold back on itself. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike showed the Axioma last week. I woke up thinking about that. I thought, there's got to be a way to do that, make it simple and make it work. I'm going to find it because that's, as soon as I figure it out, I'm going to start incorporating that. But use regular cable instead of steel. The only thing I'm worried about that is the darn stuff will rust. But
I actually don't like what's on the Axioma, Phil.
Well, I don't like that metal piece, but on the other hand, I like
cables
the idea.
The cables are way too long and way too thick. What did we measure those? Were they 50 thousandths, right? Was that right?
50 thousandths. Wow.
Wasn't it 50? Does anybody remember?
I was,
The after party. I don't remember that.
The cables are like fat ass cables, man.
And they're steel?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're braided.
Fatty?
Does nobody remember from Friday when I measured those things? I remember I brought it up because they're huge. The cable.
It was heavy. That's right. I remember
Yeah,
that.
just ginormous. And then the other thing, there's when the airplane's assembled, what did I say? They're 10 inches, right? There's 10
Yeah,
inches.
they're long. That's the part that freaked me out is how long it was.
You got to be able to, put the wing together and then slide the wing down.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I don't like any of that. That's the one part of the airplane I don't like. And I think that's where Kevlar could come in like hugely handy, man. Hugely handy. Just switch all that out to Kevlar. And
like even if you had to put it in, hook it up to the bell crank while you've got it apart, and then redo the ends after. And then if you need to take it apart, take the Kevlar off and put new Kevlar. It's no big deal.
I was thinking ahead a little more than that, Len. If I'm going to be flying Spectra, the lead out guide that's in there, right?
Yeah.
and it's for this big fat cable that's already there. It would not be hard to take a piece of 25 thousandths music wire
Yeah.
and make a little tool and just run my spectra line right to the bell crank when I'm putting the airplane together. Just get rid of the lead outs altogether and connect my spectra line right to the bell crank, just like a combat plane.
Yeah, as long as you're not worried about the wear on the lead out guide or on the bell crank, then you're.
I'm not. So I change the lines, you know, every 50 flights or something, whatever.
No, you
And
won't do it that often.
It wouldn't be that hard to have just a piece of music wire tool to fish that through the wing. I mean, it'd be a little bit of work, you know, to get it through the ribs and stuff, but it wouldn't be that difficult to do.
When I started fishing that stuff, we used to, when I'd go flipping, especially in the toolies and the weeds and all that crap, I'd have to, your line down near the hook or the sink, whatever you want to call it, the lure, would get all nicked up and dinged up because the regular fishing line just gets dinged up in that crap. This stuff cuts through. You see the lily pads floating away where you'd cut one off, and you go to check it and there's nothing. You fish all day and you've had to stop and sharpen your hook a few times on your jig. But the toolies and all have not hurt that line at all. I don't believe you're going to have any wire.
I don't think it will either, Phil. And I'm not opposed to doing what Trian has done on his Revolutions and doing those Kevlar lead outs. But what I'm saying is if we just run the Spectra,
take that line all the way to the bell crank.
Take it to the bell crank, you're getting rid of one set of terminations.
That's a good idea. I like that.
Why have a termination at the bell crank and then have a termination, another set of clips at the end of the wing if you don't have to?
That's
right?
That's what I'm saying. I agree with you.
Get rid of more.
You just wrap it up and put the reel on the end of the wing, basically.
You could.
Like the speed guys do.
Yeah,
you could, or it wouldn't be that hard to fish it through. That's what I'm getting at is.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be that hard either.
The way the airplane's built, it's not. It wouldn't be hard to just attach it to a piece of music wire somehow and run it through the lead out guide, because the lead out guide has already got a honking big hole in it because of the size of the cable that's already in the airplane.
You guys, we're going to have to take note and start paying more attention to Mike and Howard. We knew Howard. Now we're going to listen to Mike too, because they're coming up.
Oh, don't listen to me. Don't follow any of my stupid ideas, man.
I don't know, Mike. You got some pretty good ideas.
Yeah, guys, we're going to be
you go first on
transitioning
these things.
pretty soon to the after party. It's almost 9 o'clock, and we have had 28 viewers or concurrent viewers right now, and we've had as many as like 32 viewers. We only have 24 likes, so if you haven't hit the like button, or if you're watching this as a replay, please hit the like button. That helps the analytics of the show, and please consider joining the YouTube membership for this Stunthangar channel. That also helps. And don't forget to come on in sometimes and give us a super chat. All that is necessary for us to keep going. We need your support. Please support this. And hi, Bob. Gore, thanks for coming in.
Hi, guys.
And we're going to continue on, but we're going to end the stream. We'll be back Friday. Hopefully you'll have a chance to do something maybe in your shop. Come back and share it with us. Or if you're out here where you can still fly in the winter like me, I went flying today. Maybe talk about what we did. So anyways, until then, I will see you guys Friday. Thank you very much and good night. Let me end the stream here.
All right.
I can't figure out how to do that.